be great, but I don't know. Sounds like Gizmo.
It does sound like Gizmo.
Yes.
You know what? Does. He does indeed.
I guess I don't hate this guy after all.
Now I do. I didn't hate him before, but now I do.
If only Roiloup could have maintained that adorable persona.
Or creepy. Yeah. I mean, he maintained the creepy part, not the not any other part.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Vickyverse. Today we are clipping CG. I'm here with Thomas, Preston, Doug, and Patrick, because that's what I'm going to call you, Patrick. I'm not trying to say your name.
Which, by the way, I have. If we're all sharing clips, I got some interesting tweets here, and
I'll bet you do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did nothing happen?
That's a good one. But just on Twitter, Ro is now going under Roiloup, and there's kind of an interesting exchange between him and.
I thought that was a fake name you came up with to make him look stupid.
No, that was the actual name of that channel.
Yeah, feel free to share if you like.
Here we go. So here we have Gaylord for WC. Who today is AKA
another fake name you guys made up with to make them sound bad.
Yeah, and so here he is tweeting under the name Roiloup with big heart, gay flag,
the gay pride flag, and a fire.
Yeah,
what does that even mean? But they're right wing. They're a right wing conservative movement.
Yeah, and it says big thank you to Ethan Van Wade for mailing.
Female-in. Oh, I get it.
Trump sidekick for canceling these back of the bus I like the back of the bus. We're trying to work.
Back of the bus. They're so oppressed.
Yeah. So Rosa Parks. He's bringing
the Rosa Parks angle here. Back of the bus.
He's so sensitive to the riots.
He is. Non-dynamite, non-industry peasant scum.
That's right.
Hashtag Black Dragon. So he's showing off CG jumpstarts, and he's basically saying, how could you not come and support these wonderful, virtuous, Pan and whatnot. To which Ethan replied, looks great. You seem mad, though. How come? Good luck. Frog. Shrug.
Frog. Notice he took a break from doing that after we made fun of him for it, and then we made fun of him for not doing it.
Right. And recently he's come out and said, I was never even really a champion of gay rights. I was just doing it because people were accusing me of not doing it.
So he's admitted to being dishonest and doing this then.
Yeah.
That's
why would he do that?
He did
when he did the frog and the rainbow, did Ro write him back in public saying, I thought we agreed backstage not to use those emojis.
Right.
I thought we were going to use a different ones when we roll this argument out.
Exactly. And then
I'm only trying to start a conspiracy.
and then Roro says, you'll see tonight, babe heart. There we go. Yes, there is so apparently tonight on D Live TV, there will be a Roiloup throwdown.
Oh. Yeah, you know what it's going to be? They're going to be showing the CG Jumpstart magazine because Ro got the proof of it. He was trying to get Liam to bring him onto his stream earlier today.
Oh, okay.
And what's that?
Huh? CG Jumpstart. It's some magazine.
No, what's CG?
I don't know. Comics Grift Jumpstart, I guess.
Comics Grifters. I'm familiar with a movement called Comics Grifters. I guess that's what they are referring to. Well, legally, that's the only thing. Legally, that's what they must be referring to.
Yeah, Ethan did say on that Snipe stream of Fan that you did with Fan earlier today that they're still going to be able to call themselves ComicsGate, and you're not going to be able to stop them from calling themselves ComicsGate.
See, the problem with that's the problem with having Nick Rekieta as your legal team.
Do you think he doesn't give good advice or something?
Like I said previously, it's like having a magic 8 ball where everything says you're fine.
Yeah, it was.
And we keep
I was
calling
pretty
ourselves
sad.
ComicsGate despite the fact someone else has the trademark. You're fine, totally fine.
It's weird because CG Jumpstart, it's like, why would you even have a comics magazine full of people who were just attacking other people in the movement? And it's like, it doesn't seem like a good, honest kind of.
It's not healthy. It's very unhealthy.
Yeah.
We also have a very disturbing video from Man of Sex.
Oh boy.
Yes, indeed. I found this on Twitter today.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a war campaign guy.
He's a war. Well, he was a war. Yeah, he is
was?
still a war
What do you
campaign
mean
guy.
was? I mean,
No, he still is. I think
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
still. He's siding with Pan and Roe
Okay, of course.
Oh, then-
and
He's
war
war campaign.
campaign.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
don't let me down, Man of Sex.
No,
Don't
you
let
are
me down.
right.
And
But
Man of
Ethan-
Sex is the one who dresses as Gina on their streams.
Oh, he
Yes.
was the cross dresser.
He is the cross.
Yeah,
Okay.
he is.
That's funny.
Yeah, he seems a little can you say butthurt? Not happy at all.
I think it seems like all of them, basically all of them are butthurt about each other.
Yeah.
It keeps going in. Pretty soon it's going to be a pixel.
Yeah.
That's some top tier autism.
That's fantastic, Moss. Great job.
That guy that just laid down the best rational argument I've ever seen in comics. I'm pretty sure that wins.
I mean, look, you just got the attention of everybody on this stream and whoever's watching, and I have no idea what you were trying to say, but
But good job saying it. Good
good
job.
job saying it. Yeah.
They are
Good job refraining from putting sexual toys all over that thing. I don't know how your Tourette's kept you from pushing that Photoshop button all over that thing.
It's either restraint or laziness. I'm not sure.
Or he's evolving. I think he's becoming a better man.
Yeah.
If they upgrade at least 100 times more, they might be at the level of a fanfic writer.
Yeah. He dropped his gills and he's breathing air.
Yeah.
Evolution is real.
But he's breathing mud. He's breathing mud and air. It's not
the lungfish.
well, but
What they call those, the lungfish?
Lungfish.
Lungfish.
I love the again, not to go all the way back to, hey, remember when we were talking about adaptation, but when he's like the beginning of the life and the meteors and everything was volcanoes and the dinosaurs, and then there's the fish, and then the fish that crawled onto land, and then the bigger fish that were crawling, the mud skippers, and he's going over everything just to skip to the part where suddenly he is born.
Yeah, and then I was born.
Yeah, good job.
All of history up until me.
It's solipsistic. It's narcissistic. I'm fat and bald and pathetic.
It's good.
Well, we're all allowed a little bit of that, aren't we?
Comic books.
Yes,
I make comic books about frogs.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I put this one up on Twitter earlier, but it has a companion piece, so I thought I'd go ahead and play this one first.
Nice.
So
What we got?
we have Ethan telling us about who he wants
Okay.
in ComicsGate.
Hold on, Ethan. Pull out.
Shit.
An intellectual. He's
There's
smart.
a whale on my monitor. Oh,
And it's about to
He
say.
should be making more videos
Ew.
about ComicsGate is good, or when we go astray, why comics
what's with the gay put on
he
voice?
needs to be showing his Hollywood friends ComicsGate projects.
Wait, why is he showing Preston Poulter's projects? Why would he do that? That's something I think people need to understand better. Is ComicsGate belongs to Preston Poulter. Stop pretending like it doesn't.
Well,
And
Adam
what-
doesn't even have a book yet.
Yeah, Adam doesn't have a book yet, and
Oh, no.
if we're just gonna say who's got the biggest Hollywood credit, well, really, it should be Doug.
No, you're actually the only Hollywood guy who's actually bigger than me,
Okay,
because I know your credits. I know what you've actually done.
thank you.
Omaha.
You've landed one in a way that I have not landed one.
Well,
Russell was in it.
I was executive producer on a completely legit movie, which made us money, and that was fun.
That's right.
I was
a legit movie for a change.
Yes, I was also producer on some not so legit movies that everyone's been going crazy about lately.
Yeah,
you know.
That was your art period.
That was my art.
Everyone has to go through their weird period where they do dirty movies. Or something.
Very French.
Yeah, it's very European. This is a very European project, which is bad. That's for sure bad.
True.
Yes.
Yeah,
very true.
You know, but yeah, when you're calling out to Adam Friended saying we need you, and I love the word, like if we go astray, because when has Adam Friended been like the voice of conscience and principle to go? I think you guys have stepped out of line.
Well, hasn't he sat around and been like, we shouldn't be attacking each other? Oh wait, no, he didn't do that, did he?
Yeah.
No. No, and his biggest complaint about Doug was because Doug told him he could do it on his own. I was listening to him. That was literally that is
Doug, you piece
seriously
of shit.
That is the worst thing Doug could have ever said to him was, "You have a large enough audience. Yeah. You can get this book funded on your own."
Yeah, that was my shocking message that CG was just always so furious about. What do you look at Doug? He's just saying you just have to work hard. Fine, guys, go out there and work hard and see how that's going to work.
You betrayer.
How's that working for you, Mike Miller? Was it worth it?
I remember when Adam Friended was sharing clips of Doug, and what it seemed like an effort to make him look bad, but I was like, it's just Doug saying, if you're calling me a failure, I mean, here are the things I've done. I wish you guys my kind of failure. And and I'm like, okay, that sounds a pretty solid argument to me, Adam. I don't know what you wanted me to get out of that, but
how that's the thing is that all the stuff that Ethan's dumb like brain damaged cult gets mad at, nobody else, everyone else outside of the movement just watches and is like, what's the part that I'm supposed to be mad at? What's the part where Doug is a dirtworm now?
Where's that at? Where do I find that clip?
Yeah, where's the moment where I really see that?
I'm waiting for the evidence. Believe me, I'll see the evidence and I'll make the judgment. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
I mean, first of all, I agree with you. Doug is a dirtworm, but I'm still waiting to find out. I'll find out why when you show me a few clips.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Well, I'm sure that'll happen anytime.
Well, I had watched him. I used to see him on Twitter and on YouTube before, and he'd gone from like the skeptic community, where Sargon was, and then he glommed on to the whole Jordan B. Peterson thing, and now he's decided, since both of those have gone to the wayside, and I guess he wasn't fit for Bloodsport.
Right.
And
but he is still a true believer in Jordan Peterson, isn't he? Still a
I don't know what
carrier.
No. I don't know what he truly believes.
And I feel sorry for Jordan Peterson at this point, but he really was just a fad.
Yeah. I honestly couldn't tell you that Adam
I could tell you what I think of Jordan Peterson, but at the same time, I mean, let's face it, he's gone through troubles. I don't want to judge him,
Look,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
A better illustrator for his next book, and that's what matters.
Oh, he got it.
Illustrations are terrible, by the way. They're really not good.
In that first book,
really lame.
They were kind of weird looking. They're kind of creepy.
And again, if I'm reading a book that has illustrations, I feel like I'm being fucking patronized.
Yeah, talked down.
Yeah.
So I didn't follow what happened. I saw one tweet with Adam Friended about ComicsGate. Like I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the context, so I didn't understand the tweet.
He's not particularly eloquent.
Yeah.
But
he says that he can't get his point across on Twitter. Well, I can get my point across on Twitter.
Exactly.
I'm not a writer.
And that's where I want to go. Well, yeah, as a writer, shouldn't you be kind of?
Yeah.
Is he a writer? Oh.
Yeah, he's the writer.
I was about to assume that he's not.
Yeah.
But Doug, you watched my show. You saw where Ro said, nobody likes you.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that. I have seen that a lot. Yeah, I saw that show. I've seen that a lot.
High school girl argument. Nobody likes you.
Nobody
does. He did I mean, he's told me, he said it on my show, like he'll do his standard, which has been consistent so far. His standard is whatever gets clicks.
Right.
He said that on my first show.
Seems kind
Everything else after that doesn't make sense. But that one does. So if everything he does is for clicks. So what did he come out? What was his position on ComicsGate and on Row? That's going to help him get clicks.
He's swinging with Ethan. He's going to
swing with Ethan.
Yeah. He's swinging with Ethan.
Team Ethan.
He is Team Ethan. It's amazing to try and feel like I need a scorecard.
On the gallows, he's swinging.
Yeah. Okay. Who just for clarity, because I would assume if War Campaign broke up with ComicsGate.
Oh no, that would be terrible. Well, they're not allowed in, of course.
Yeah. Oh no. Who in War Campaign left War Camp said, no, I'm going over on Ethan's side, and who in Ethan's side said, no, you're wrong, you're soy, I'm going with War Campaign? Did anybody switch sides significantly, or did not all the War Campaign people go over with War Campaign and the ComicsGaters stay with Ethan?
Well, Ethan doesn't get, because Ethan's War Campaign, so if he can't leave it.
From what I've seen, like Ethan was making overtures to Gat, Hanzo, and whatnot, but all the War Campaigners are still War Campaigners, and all the, because the other factions were, the Cecil, Malin, and those side, nobody switched sides. Like everybody was still very much in the camp.
Well, Gat didn't, but it looks like Steve Dye maybe switching sides, and he was integral to the CG Jumpstart magazine.
I've heard that name a ton, but I don't know who he is. Can you give us a refresher?
He edited the Vestige book.
Never heard of that either.
Actually, from what I understand, he kind of wrote most of it, or rewrote most of it.
Sure.
But that's all I know about him. I don't know what else he's done aside from that.
You mean Vestige?
Vestige.
Yeah. So he was already WC, and is he staying WC, or is he going with mom or stepdad or mom?
It looks like he's going with Ethan.
Oh, okay.
From what I see, he's the only really big WCer right now.
None of them want custody of each other at this point.
Yeah, some of the little, some of the lower on the totem pole ones are siding with Ethan. Riano, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Looks like siding with Ethan, because nobody else wants him.
He was the one that first did is he the one that did the fan advocacy thing?
He is How Tug's coming out on this one, because
he can pretend he's not CG anyway, just like he does half the time anyhow.
Right.
So he doesn't seem to be siding with anybody yet.
Nobody's gonna want him though. Renault was booted from War Campaign a while ago. Not that means anything, booted from War Campaign.
I don't know. War Campaign's got a lot on Tug. I mean, there's no way they don't, because they've been doing a lot of shady shit together for quite some time.
And then Tug will probably have Tug might have something on them, but Tug has lied so many times about everything.
Who would even believe him? I mean, like every day Tug fires up a stream, and attacks somebody on basically evidence that he manufactured, and it's at this point, if you're in the Tug audience, well, then you're just going to believe whatever the hell he says anyway.
That's right.
And if you're not, then you don't believe him because you know that he lies. And that's the problem with having that kind of approach, is in instances like this where it's like, well, no, this time I really do have something to say. Like, sorry. Yeah.
So is there a fan group on anyone's channel that will challenge the channel? Like, do you guys have any fans in your feed who are fans of yours, yet challenge your words in a way that doesn't happen on other YouTube streams? Because I see this across the board in all YouTube channels.
We have some viewers who are like, no, you guys, but they're like, hey, I'm waiting for someone to actually challenge us and actually be credible. Yeah. Ethan Van Sciver is a subscriber of ours. He'll go.
Oh, so Ethan's in your audience. And he's going to challenge you.
He follows us. He posts under the name Strictly Jake. He'll leave a lot of comments. He left I think about 50 comments on one of our more recent videos.
Renault is another guy who,
he's like the tank. Ethan Van Sciver is like our latest tank.
Who's yeah, basically he's just another tank.
He's just another Swedish boy child.
Yes, and not tank, but tank, which is for sure bad.
It's some kind of Swedish bullshit.
Who's the fat retard who thinks that not wearing sleeves is a personality trait?
Ethan
Micah.
Micah, yeah, he's another
Mecca McCheese.
Yeah, that Micah guy. He's another fan who watches all of our videos. He tried to review one of our comics once, but the thing is, you know how it is with like a war campaign ComicsGate. It's like they never had any insight into comics, not like we do, of course. We're way better. I mean, there was something when you were on with us last time, Doug. You were like, "Oh, you can ask me anything," and I was seconds from asking you. So, which of our videos is your favorite from recently?
I did laugh at that one 3-hour stream that you did. It was
3 hours is painfully long.
It was so
for us, it's great, but
it was so degenerate. I go to sleep on all these videos. I put my little headphones in, and I either listen to like conservative right-wing podcasts like Jonah Goldberg and Ricochet and Jordan Peterson,
National Review guy.
Yeah, and Steven Crowder and Rich Lowry and all these smart guys, John Podhortz, or I listen to SWC, Preston Poulter. He's got stuff out there.
Am I really on the level of the guy who created National Review?
Well, hold on. Before you flatter yourself, before you flatter yourself, I also put in EVS for old time's sake, Liam the Gray, Liam Gray. So
how could you go to sleep unless they're so boring? I mean, I understand they're probably very boring, but I'd probably be too irritated.
I have even put on sometimes I put on War Campaign, but usually that gets so degenerate I can't even listen for long. But I do try to stay
creative though. None of them have ever been creative.
There's a difference between degenerate and just plain wrong.
Yeah. I do try to get people from all sides just to hear. One guy I can't listen to is Tug. I just don't like the sound of his voice. That's just personal preference.
Steven Crowder is SWC level now.
Yeah,
great.
I can listen to Yellow Flash.
Yeah,
I can listen to some Nick Rekieta. If he gets too legal, sometimes I don't get into that. But some Nick Rekieta. So I'm listening. I'm listening to a lot of people in our circle of crowdfunding. I feel like I know. I'll listen to Adam Friended sometimes.
Whose videos do you think are best, though? Like, say, ours or
yours are by far the funniest because they are the meanest humor I've ever heard.
I think you're right. Nick Rekieta, right? That we're the best.
I cry laughing during yours, but I also, and by the way, I also put on like best of Norm Macdonald, and I cry laughing during his. So you guys are the closest to him.
I've heard meaner.
That's good.
I played a few hands of poker with Norm Macdonald.
You did? Oh yeah, because he's an addict, right?
He's a gambling addict. He's a total degenerate.
He's an addict. Yeah. It's probably one of the healthier addictions. I mean, as long as you have the money, as long as you've got cash to spend, it's one of the healthier addictions.
Yeah, he was playing 1530 Hold'em at Hollywood Park one night, and I was at the table with him, so that was interesting.
He doesn't joke when he's at the table, does he, or what?
No,
he doesn't.
He's not the most hilarious human being.
Yeah, he's the most hilarious human being, and then he just sits there and plays poker all night.
I lost everything. I guess I lost.
I guess I
check raised him on the. I don't want to degenerate into poker jargon. But I check raised him on the turn with middle pair. I either know what I just said or you don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, all right.
I do, and I'm scared.
I learned how to play poker from video games. It was Red Dead Redemption and Far Cry 3 both taught me how to play.
Are you impressed, Preston? Are you impressed?
Yeah,
with that.
Yeah.
Is he badass now?
I check raised him on the turn with middle pair, which is not a strong hand. Middle pair is kind of a middling hand, and it's certainly not what you would be check raising on.
It'd be like if I had a pair of eights.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
It's effectively like I check raised him with a pair of eights.
Go fish.
And then the river came, and I bet him on the river, and he calls, and I show him I got middle pair, and Norm was like, this guy plays me like a fiddle, and he mucks his hand.
You got him.
It'd be like a fiddle. Isn't
You
that
know,
Rounders?
Yeah, Rounders, good movie.
Doug, you'd asked about fans and whether or not they ever disagree, and then they do. The thing is, though, we don't like.
Straight up. Okay, enough.
I wouldn't say I have fans. I'm new at this.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Oh well, thank you.
I like your videos also. I don't like the word fan, but yeah.
But I can disagree with a lot of the people that I see in my chat and not have any issue.
Yeah.
You know, we can disagree on a lot of stuff and never.
People prove us wrong in chat, in the Discord or in comments. Are like, oh no, this happened over here with this, and it's like, oh, you know what? I guess you know better than I do.
So this surface today, people have been wondering about there. So this is, Ethan saying, "What was I paying you hoes for? Earn your keep, bitches." Frog Dragon.
Frog Dragon.
Yeah, was campaign.
It looks like he's having a complete psychotic break.
Wait, but that sounds fake. This sounds like WWF level.
Okay.
I mean,
this sounds like WWF, right?
Like not nearly as interesting or entertaining, though.
No, of course.
What was I paying you hoes for? That's a joke, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, he's
why? For his sake, it would be a joke.
But why?
He's retweeting. Jack Straw says, why not everyone, streams all the war campaign phrases and jokes anyway? And so Ethan's like, well, what was I paying you? So
you know what it looks like? It looks like a joke to distract from the fact that it's actually true.
He's completely believe me, I've seen him. I've seen a lot of the shit he said.
I've seen other people do that, like for hundreds of times over the over 20 years. I've seen people make jokes about something they've actually done to act like it's a joke. Like, no, of course I don't actually do that. That's a joke. When they actually do it.
Dead serious.
Yeah,
just pretending to be retarded.
Yeah, exactly.
That is one of his hallmarks, though, isn't it? Everything about
everything.
They always say it's
and if it's not a joke, then they deserved it. So.
It's kind of like he's like Jon Stewart from The Daily Show.
Oh yeah, where
anything he says that he gets called out on. Oh, I'm just being a clown.
Yeah, he's just a wacky clown. He puts on the clown nose, like, hey, I'm just a comedian.
And you don't know when he has the clown nose on.
As Mr. Dong's references there in the chat, Vicky's serious reporting on Ribbit Coin, and Ethan comes on dressed as the ring
retard,
whatever, and
Plantation Willy Wonka.
Yeah, and then he says things, and then later he's like, well, yeah, see, but because of how I was dressed, you weren't supposed to take those things seriously.
Yeah, he pulled a Jon Stewart. He just straight up pulled a Jon Stewart.
Which I'm tired of especially of conservatives being like, oh, I found him funny, but what is he doing? I like him, but what is he doing? I'm really tired of that bullshit.
Put sketch on.
How about Micah instead?
Oh, I want sketch therapy or Micah on this show.
What there's clips of sketch we could play.
Okay. Oh, there you go. That's my guy.
Yeah,
I want an action figure. I would buy an action figure of this guy right now and put it on my desk.
Gotta play this at max volume.
I would too.
We need to have some of these people on the show with us so they can answer these. They need to answer what we're talking about.
Micah, call in. Micah.
DM me, Mike. I'll send you the link.
There you go. That's very kind of you.
I know.
Here, wait, no.
I can't even hear what he's saying.
I know. I can't get it any louder.
All right.
We are the
really
I'm hearing some echo, by the way.
Now.
I'm hearing heavy echo.
Yeah, I'm too.
I think that's probably Vicky.
It is not me.
It's totally Vicky.
It is totally not me.
It's not me. I got my headphones in.
I have mine in too.
Well, there's more of an echo. So
get your caca together.
Can you plug your headphones in more?
Harder. That's something I do on a regular basis whenever I got the volume cranked. Is I go and I press in the volume or the headphones jack into the speakers a little harder
because it used to get loose, and then all of a sudden you'd be blasting, and you would have the headphones in, so you couldn't tell. that your speakers were blasting.
I've had that happen before a few times when I was like,
checked. They
when I
are
was a
in
kid.
as far as they will go.
Okay, I'm not hearing the echo anymore,
Well,
so
let's
it's fixed.
try
It might have been because of the video, because I tried turning the volume up.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Oh wait, you know what you can do, Vicky?
What?
Is that where is that video? Is that on Twitter?
On the hard drive.
I pulled it off of Twitter. It's on my hard drive, but I don't remember where I found.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and watch this work of brilliance.
Well, I have another one of Micah that we can play instead. That
Well,
might be better.
I want to hear that one just once, though, because it's perfect cringe.
It
is perfect cringe. So if we're all quiet and don't talk over this one,
we go.
maybe if we turn up the volume.
Okay.
Whoops. It helps if I share it.
No, it's ruined now.
Yeah, I know, right? God dang it, Vicky. You just suck at this live streaming shit. Okay.
Just maybe you should curse God for once. Giving me the brain and knew how to beat you.
Strategic
When
sip.
God gave it to me, it truly wasn't.
It's pretty quiet.
Because I've used it for good. To make sure that people are going to have careers. Make sure that people aren't getting screwed over by this.
He's a career maker.
You lose.
you lose.
You lose. You can make that bleed.
I love that
I love it.
part, man.
Was he talking about Doug?
He was talking about me. That was to me.
Wow.
Was he talking about you again?
Yeah, he was saying you should curse. Maybe you should curse God. Doug, clearly.
He really has this hang up about you and God, doesn't he?
He does. He's really,
no, I mean, he really does.
He represents.
I was telling Thomas earlier, the first video I ever saw of Micah was the Doug is a fake Christian video. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah.
And I just sat there just amazed. I couldn't stop laughing.
I mean,
and two, I don't need to wear my Christianity on my sleeve. And a minute later, he's showing off his God tattoo on his
tattoo. He actually has a permanent God icon on his arm sleeve.
An icon, which I'm sure God is totally.
I was just like, oh, dude, you have no self-awareness. None.
Worshipping idols. He's for it. Something like that.
So I do not know which side of the aisle Micah is falling on.
He seems torn.
He does. Ethan gave him a boatload of shit over the last week.
Well, it's because Ethan doesn't particularly like him. And
oh yeah, you can see Ethan just thinks he's a complete moron.
Yeah.
So Ethan's looking at himself, going, "How did I end up getting left on this couch
right.
with these guys?"
All I got is the blood-sucking lawyer on my side.
Yeah.
It conjures up such a funny picture because just the mental image of Doug screaming, "Curse you, God, for giving Micah that trade!"
Curse God and die. He's doing Job.
Yeah.
That's from Job, where his wife tells him to curse God and die.
Yeah. It's also from The Strangers with Candy.
So he is the wife.
Okay.
Yeah, Micah is the wife there. He's Job's wife in this situation.
That's even funny. Curse you, God, falls over dead. For giving Micah that brain.
Ethan then is Job because he's very put upon.
Of course. I mean, everyone betrays him all the time,
and he's
persecuted by the devil.
He's fed up with this world. You have to understand, more important than Job, he is he's the character from The Room.
We have a request from the chat. Do we have the clip of Micah pulling seniority on Ethan?
I do not, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's not possible. Ethan is Caesar. How do you get higher than Caesar?
But if we're here next week, I promise to play it.
Okay.
He body slammed him.
I do. I have the stream, but I don't have the clip.
He did a crippler on Ethan.
I said, Ethan, you can't take that.
Yeah.
You can't take that from him.
You're going to take that? What's the
coming to?
Don't let him do that to you.
Yeah.
Thomas, did you
You're
want
gonna
to
take it from
share
the trunk?
that your new video? Because I was looking to see if I had it, and I guess I didn't download it.
Yeah, I
No.
no. Do you I don't know, do you have any other clips? Because I kind of want to save it for last.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I was just asking. Just let me know when you're ready to play it.
Yeah, I'll let you know when. You let me know when we're out of clips or something.
Oh man, I have so many. I don't even think we'll get to them all, honestly.
Which is good. We have upcoming content for future weeks.
We do.
Yep.
That's a great thing is you never run out of content.
Yeah.
I wish we could run out of content. Believe me, I have the opposite view you guys have. I wish we could run out of this content.
I wish you could
stop talking about it.
Pretty soon.
One day we might.
It's like when Preston couldn't keep up with all the drama. He's like, I'm gonna have to do a daily show.
Yeah.
Or it was weekly. Last week in ComicsGate.
Yeah.
Which is what drove them so fucking insane.
Oh my god, they went crazy.
Yeah, they had to announce. Ethan Van Sciver had to tell War Campaign do a deep dive on this guy because he made fun of me on the internet.
So here is Ethan. Once again, he never stands by anything he says, particularly when he says something just absolutely absurd, like War Campaign doesn't dox. And look, at the time he was like, War Campaign absolutely does not dox. I was posting like clips of, Roe saying, hey, testosterone overload is really, Matt Mertz. And then, of course, I wasn't getting a lot of response from Ethan, but other people were like, no. See, his information was somehow public. They always come up with it's not doxing, which is what they've recently done regarding me. Like,
and me.
Yeah. If
you mostly.
Yeah. If you go and you dig up some old thing posted under an anonymous pseudonym that isn't actually really tied to me in any way, and then make hay about it everywhere in an attempt to shame me, that's not doxing. Okay, well then nothing's doxing. Just
yeah, literally to Ethan Van Sciver, literally nothing ever could be doxing,
right?
Unless somebody
doxed him or somebody to defend or support, then it's doxing.
But here's Ethan kind of walking back remember that time I said War Campaign doesn't dox? So boy, I sure hope Black Dragon isn't Roe and Pan revealing personal information about ComicsGate's ladies. That would make it seem like Roe and Pan can't be trusted with anyone's personal information.
Ethan can't be trusted with anyone's personal information. He leaked private backer information to get somebody attacked.
People on his own side too. It's people that are supposed to be supporting him and that he's supposed to support.
Yeah, it's his own customer. He doxed his own customers basically. This guy is
more than once. This is not just a one-off either. Not that I would ever trust somebody who ever did that once or ever. He's done it more than once.
Oh, by the way, Mecca sent you the pulling rank clip in your DM.
Oh, cool.
But
awesome.
So we'll get to this tweet. And I've always said WC doesn't dox, or that's what they've told me.
He said that. He's also said before that they have doxed people.
Right.
He screamed at them. He was like, "These guys were going to dox someone."
Yeah.
And showed DMs of them saying, "Hey, well, let's dox someone and fucking blame Ethan." It's like they were going to dox someone and blame me. But I guess that was 2019, though. That's a long time ago. Who even remembers that?
Exactly.
It's forgivable. He's forgiven.
Okay, so he's going to make this complicated for me because it's in the Twitter DMs. So.
Oh, yeah, you can't save from a fucking DM.
No.
I can't. No, send me the DM. I'll grab it. I'm a pro at this shit.
I don't know how to
I have not figured out how to save from DMs. I have not figured that one out yet.
Oh wait, saving from DMs is actually tough. Yeah, that was the toughest one.
Yeah, saving from a direct tweet is the easy part.
That is the easy part. Yes.
Just go to the website, download Twitter. What is it actually? Let's see.
This is Twitter downloaders.
Download twittervideo.com and you just paste in the tweet and then it will let you. Although it may try to misdirect you to a fucking advertisement site sometimes. You just have to ignore that and try again or some shit.
Sometimes you gotta suck it up.
Suck it up.
I fucking hate being advertised to on the internet.
Yes, I resent it.
I do have a different Liam clip while Preston does his little magic. So All right. This one, I believe, is from today. So it makes it super
Wait, it just keeps happening?
current.
Just
Huh?
keeps happening.
It keeps.
I know.
Hey, I warned you about stairs, bro. All right, I'm gonna mute.
A lot of people want to use my platform to have me come out and nuke people. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Poor baby.
Stuff that it's frankly not any of my business to know a lot of the time. Okay?
I feel bad for
I'm
Liam.
not going to do it. Because anything I say is going to be used as a weapon and I'm going to be tied to it. I don't want to be involved. You know, I said from the start, I just want to make great comics, and I just want everyone to get along.
When are you gonna start, faggot?
There's always going to be disagreements and shit. But when I said neutral ground, what I didn't mean, oh, this means it's somewhere that you guys can all come and conquer and fight over, and you can fight here in this gladiatorial pit. It was meant to be a summit meeting where people can, or it wasn't even meant to be a fucking summit meeting. It's just meant to be somewhere
Summit
where people
meeting.
can come and talk about things, and where fans had a voice.
It's like the United Nations.
Yeah.
He thinks he is.
Because I thought deep down in my fucking naivety, the people wanted to
Got moved to the
fucking
ghetto
work
in
things
Australia
out, but they
instead of
Very
don't.
naive. I'll admit that for him.
Things they want to be
Very
angry, they
naive.
want to fight, they profit from the
Childishly
conflict, they
naive.
profit from fighting, and they're more concerned with the fighting than making the
What?
conflict
No. How can that
goal.
be? They're
From the
fighting.
fucking start,
I
from the
know.
fucking very get-go, has always
Wait, this is the
been
best part. If this is the right
trying
one.
to make this a fun, cool place for fans to come and to produce product that's profitable
Sometimes
enough,
awesome.
good enough that that essentially, you know, we can keep this going for the next generation, right? That's all I wanted to do.
That's all he wanted to do.
Yeah,
I wonder what happened. I mean,
what happened?
you know what? It must have been Doug's fault.
There you go.
Or
It
Tim Lim.
was.
Or Tim Lim. Tim Lim was the trader of the
Oh yeah,
backstabber
yeah.
who EVS still wants to be friends with.
But they always accuse me that I wormed into everyone's head. All of this
You're
was
the green
me.
worm tongue.
He goes, did I hear? This feels like someone has wormed into someone's head. So I only know it's probably me.
How could it possibly?
You make them very susceptible to suggestion.
I pulled the string.
Yeah,
Pull the string.
I mean, they're just so naive and hopeful that they didn't know that a complete psychopath like you would come along and manipulate everyone into fighting each other without even barely trying.
Take all their money.
Yeah.
Stole
it's
their
pretty
money.
bad.
You didn't even deliver your comic. Oh, wait.
I just put out a piece of garbage for him.
You gave him an empty cardboard box.
I hardly spent anything, and I kept all the money to myself.
I shared the Micah pulling rank clip.
Okay, hold on just a second.
And pulling strings.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Home? I have no home.
I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, you're not outside. Hold on.
No, we're talking about a water closet here.
Okay.
That's normal.
Oh, wait. I have to open it up in Chrome.
I mean, not that they have anything to say anyways, but yeah, the audio wasn't broadcasting was your point.
Okay.
No, you need to be specific. Use your specific words.
The specific words to describe.
Use your words.
Liam's show is a gold mine.
It is.
It really, really is.
I mean, if you can tolerate it. Here's
If it was real gold, then maybe we could actually be getting paid something.
Getting paid
for this bullshit.
Speaking of which, we found an artist. We did find an artist to do the Cape Cuck Follies comic.
There you go.
So, we can, if we can get funding for it, if people want to donate, because I'm done with the whole computer funding thing. That's covered now.
Funded.
Yeah, that's funded. So
People
now
want to talk about how we're nobodies, how we don't have an audience. Guess what just got funded? Our entire computers.
There we go.
Woohoo!
All right. So
Here we go.
So that we can continue to pay the electrical bill.
Yeah, so we can try and get a little bit. No, it doesn't make much of a difference.
So this should work.
Okay,
He
can we
said
stop
that.
for a sec? Guys, I need to stop for a second. Ethan, I get you're pissed off right now, Stop what you're doing.
That's just the first few seconds.
Well, you know what? I'm sure that
God damn it! Listen to me. Listen to me. Everybody, stop it. Listen to me. Fucking do that.
Caesar can do whatever he wants. Caesar is the ultimate.
Shut up, Oz. 5 seconds and let me talk. God damn it.
Mute Micah. Kick Micah.
So we're not
Kick you. Shut the fuck up. I'm being dead serious, guys.
Micah's being serious right now, guys. Come on.
Yeah, just stop it.
Be fat serious.
Stop
fat and dead.
Mike is the only one who's a believer out of all these guys. He's the only true believer out of all of them.
They're very low energy now. Micah is like such a dumb, hopeful moron. This stupid failed movement can absolutely keep going.
Right.
Even Ethan gave up on it like 2 years ago.
I think Ethan broke him this week, though.
There's always one guy in the audience that swears that World Wrestling Federation is real and that they don't pre-pick.
I have more respect for that than this.
Yes, I have more respect for someone who thinks wrestling is real than anyone stupid enough to think that ComicsGate was real.
I'll try not to pop your bubble.
All right, we still got half of this thing to go.
All right.
Here we go.
This has been a calm conversation where we're trying to get down to things, and things might actually get better from this conversation. I get that you are not happy with how the conversation just went on your live stream. Let this one go, please.
Look, Mike, let me
just as a favor to me as a friend. I'm not done yet. As a favor to me as a friend, I will owe you one. Let this one go, please.
As a friend.
Well, and that's why I'm telling him to stop.
Everyone knows me and Roe at ComicsGate. I mean, you're gonna let one guy tell
Wait,
you.
Wait, they're in ComicsGate? Hold on a second, Preston.
Exactly.
I don't remember you allowing
That's
them
where
to
I'm like, you guys keep using that term. I don't think you understand what it is.
I don't think you understand.
None of these guys are ComicsGate.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna give it to them. We're gonna support CG creators.
Are you? Okay. Well, they're going to support us. Sweet.
There we go.
See that tone of voice, he is not serious.
Oh, yeah. We're going
Pan?
to
Dan's tone of voice, he is not serious.
We mean the criminal stalker who's on trial for real life stalking of men that he's involved with?
Pan, in other words, Pan. We said Pan.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Here's the thing. I like the idea of EVS having a favor he could pull from Micah. That's gonna be come in handy someday.
Having his intestines pulled out by a truck. But I'm not saying that anyone should do that. I'm just saying
in Minecraft.
Yeah,
I'm not saying Minecraft only real life. Anyways, any other clips? So.
Sure. I've got one more Liam clip.
That one, I have to admit, was actually probably the best of the night.
I was looking for the one where he actually starts crying. But
every single one ever.
I don't know that I saved it in the right format, so I'm having trouble finding it. But we have this. We do have this one.
Okay.
Let's see.
I know everything about basically everything.
Oh shit! Okay.
That's all you needed, right
there. Here's the honest fucking hard truth. I thought we could all get along. I thought we could all fucking get along.
What a moron!
What happened? What happened?
Did something happen?
Of coming creators in the mind, like upcoming guys. I thought that we could build something to replace the corrupt, rotten decadence that had taken over in the last 10 years. I
thought the same thing.
Degenerate celebrity chasing bullshit.
We actually did that. Sorry,
they're literally just copying off of things that my brother said.
Yeah, fucking 5.
Not even being funny here. They're just ripping us off.
And apparently he's responding to John Malin in this. So.
Oh, take that, Malin. Yeah, Malin's going to really now look out. Liam Gray's on the case.
Exactly.
It was like
puncher.
Where
conventions killer.
By conventions, I mean ComicsGate comic book communities. Like ComicsGate would just be like a bunch of people, and you could come and talk to your creator about, the things that you loved in your books.
Wow.
And the books that you loved, and potential crossovers and potential storylines and and fandoms and have direct communication with the fans. I thought that's what we all wanted.
Why?
But there's a lot of power politics.
The chat's
there's
always more interesting, man.
There's a lot of,
if
you're this guy's friend, you're not my friend. There's a lot of other stuff going on. There's a lot of interpersonal, conflicts, whether they're just out of.
Is anybody surprised by interpersonal conflict?
There's interpersonal conflicts. That's crazy. You mean like threatening to dox somebody because of their Discord server that you got screen caps of?
Yeah.
Who could have seen this coming?
Who could have seen that happen?
Or previous spite or malice, and the
and
stuff
egos?
that people don't want to let go of or get over. And
What?
there's things that have people rooted in anger and upset that are greater than and these are personal issues.
You punched your mom.
And they're greater than people's desire to reconcile.
He's
and get
describing
along
high
together.
school.
You said a trump card exists, implying that you have knowledge. I do. I know everything, John. I know everything. Let's just
shit.
Here.
Oh,
I know
shit.
everything about basically everything.
He knows where the berries are bodied.
Yeah.
Just fucking Look out for Liam Gray, guys. He knows it. He's got all the information. He's got all the dirt.
He knows all the dirt.
Because everybody DMs him and tells him.
And here's an interesting question that's kind of come up today, which is here on Twitter. This is Jack Straw saying that he was in.
Who's that? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that was the guy that has that hardcore Ethan shrine, but he's in War Campaign.
Is that all of them?
Loyalty. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he has all of Ethan's books,
he
like
showed his
multiple
back wall. It was
copies.
shocking.
Yeah.
So does Ethan.
Oh my God, the amount of money he must have spent is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Not that we're against that.
No,
Right.
spend your money how you want, baby.
Get in there.
That's
Waste
fine.
your money how you want. Sure.
Yeah, I love this one. This
Yeah.
is my favorite.
They talked about
But
Doug and Edwin aren't CG. They talk shit about the movie.
Yes.
Holy shit! I didn't know that you talk shit about the movie.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And so this is Deadwood Dale, and unfortunately, this doesn't have the top of it. Where Deadwood Dale's like, I was in mean rooms where people came in and we're like, all right, this is the target we're going to go after. And Jack Straw's like, and again, this shit implies that Roe and other guys control what memes people post. Try to tell memers what to meme and see how fast you become the meme. And Rhetorians have been like, if a meme is out there, Roe
approved it. Yeah.
And here Deadwood Dale's like, I was in the meme groups, Jack, literally being told to make memes.
He needs a hat that says veteran of
the meme.
Yeah, he's not the brightest bulb. Poor Jack, man.
Again, that's all of them though. So
but I have a special soft spot in my heart for poor little Jack.
I don't know.
I feel extra bad for him.
True believer.
I mean,
True
really,
as long as we're following a theme, here's this must have hurt because of Jack Straw's Ethan shrine. But here's Ethan retweeting, goes, I agree with you, but it always seems like every 6 months something stupid happens in ComicsGate and Ethan sheds a ton of fans. And then Ethan's like, it almost always involves War Campaign. See, knock it off. And then Jack Straw's like, except all those times it involved you.
Whoops.
That was good.
Clock center. Here's the thing: is that just looking at this, isn't it so much more obvious? This is like Ethan's Wings of Redemption moment, where it's like you need to really walk away from the internet for a long time. This is all just going worse and worse for you. But here's the thing: I don't mean that. Ethan, please stay on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't think he plans on going anywhere. Could you imagine Ethan being far away from where people are talking about him?
I saw that tweet though. Ethan said he was leaving Twitter. He was taking a break from Twitter.
That.
Like,
from 2 years ago.
Yeah, and then and I was like, oh, how'd that work out for you, Slobbo?
Yeah.
When was that post?
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2018. I think late 2018, wasn't it? After he threatened to dox Nurkish for no reason.
Yeah.
And then
I thought he gave a lot of flack to Mike Miller for getting off of Twitter. He's like, yeah, leave this. Why would you leave this? Like, such a bad business move, Mike.
But it was such a good idea when Richard Meyer did it.
Yeah, it was okay when
Yeah.
Richard did it.
Richard did it, and it's good for Richard, says Ethan. Well,
That
because
Richard's such a liability to himself. He needs to get off Twitter, which, of course, that is kind of true.
Yeah, he couldn't control himself on Twitter.
He does seem happier now that he's off Twitter.
He does.
Well,
Yes,
he's
he does.
retarded. Of course, he seems happier. Fucking jingle some keys in front of his face. He'll seem happier.
Once upon a time, there was a retard.
Oh, here's Lee Johnson. I came into ComicsGate, made a handful of friends. Sadly, one has left social media altogether because of what's going on.
He came into ComicsGate with 2 very bad knees.
A major cuck.
There is no ComicsGate anymore. If what I'm seeing going on is CG's values, then it is plain to see that CG never had values.
ComicsGate still exists.
Yeah, ComicsGate still. He's right about CG never had values. The thing is, it does now. Now that the ComicsGate trademark is purchased.
There you go. I'm done with Lee Johnson's leaving.
Whoa.
Oh,
what took him? What took him 2 years, Lee?
I know. Today you wake up.
Where have you been, friend?
Yeah. He took a big 2-year nap, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, Geek Hero Bub was like, we're still here. Most of us knew there was some more crazy to root out. No group is without its zealots, and nobody will always agree completely with the entire group they are aligned with. But no matter what happens, cling to good comics. Those will be there for you regardless.
It's literally what I was telling Ethan Van Sciver to his face on stream, and he was like, no. 2 years ago. In fact, what Doug was, not to derail this a little bit, but what Doug was mentioning about the about that little zine is it is a comic, basically. It's just a picture and it's got some words underneath. That's all you need. Every meme, an actual meme, not just a lazy Photoshop of dildos, an actual meme is essentially a comic. And because of that, comics are bigger than they've ever been. And again, that was another thing I told directly to Ethan and Nick Ricada, and both of them were just, Nick Ricada was like silent and confused, and Ethan became angry and confused.
I don't know why they'd be confused unless they were really stupid.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is that I was talking about that was basically my point, is that like comics are bigger than ever and sort of uncontainable. They're everywhere. Everyone's constantly posting comics. So as far as an entire movement where it's like, we got to save comics, you don't need to save comics because comics are bigger than they've ever been. And Ethan's response to that was, I don't even know what you're talking about. That doesn't make any sense.
I know he doesn't know what we're talking about.
And all of the people in the chat also were like, yeah, that's just incoherent.
Yeah. They all go along. Yeah. Us too. We agree.
Yeah, me too.
It's like saying we have to save string.
Yeah, exactly.
String. We got to bring back string. String's fine. People still using string all over the place.
SJWs are ruining pretzels. We need to save.
Yeah, we need to save.
I like pretzels.
Guess what? Pretzels are still. I still eat pretzels occasionally.
Yeah, as opposed to comics, I don't read that gay shit. Miss me with that gay comics shit.
Well, Lee finishes up here. Zealots were fine. There's much more at play here. Everyone that signed on to the ComicsGate truly believes in it has been fed a load of crap.
Oh no.
You'll see here pretty
fucking
soon.
whiny tone from all of them.
Here, yeah, we told you first, so I guess you'll see what we told you. And it's funny how many other people still haven't seen what we told them. I guess that's why they say should have listened to SWC. And also, while we're at it, Kiwi Farms, you're welcome. Which, by the way, apparently pisses them off a bit when we say that.
Oh man, did you see the Nasser dumping all those DMs on Kiwi Farms?
I did see that. Because basically, people were spreading some of the old lies about him. And so
he just
defend himself.
Well, with Brutus not having come out yet.
And Donald apparently fucking having taken the money, blown all of it, and he's not going to give it to Nasser. Apparently.
Yeah, it seems that Donald is busy furthering his diabetes instead of actually taking care of business. And because I think the last update on the book, I backed the book, so I'm still waiting for it. The last update was 2 months ago. He said he'd have the books in a couple of weeks, and he's been silent on it ever since.
I told you not to do that.
Yeah. Is it? I mean, if you're
Donald delayed, exactly.
Yeah, if you're a comic maker, it's kind of the opposite of what you should do, isn't it?
Well, he was saying when he got them, he wasn't gonna open them yet because his health is really his health is really compromised, and he didn't want to get corona from the book, so he was gonna just let him sit there.
The
and
low
I'm like,
T count is not the same as a low T cell count.
I'm like, mask, gloves, plop them in an envelope.
Why not use Doug's printer?
Good question.
Yeah,
good idea.
Print up that thing, give them a good price, deliver a great product.
Yeah. AIP is what they're called?
API Print Productions.
Yeah, and they're in Kentucky or Tennessee.
They're here in Tennessee in Clarksville, and everyone ought to jump over there on them and use my shipping and fulfillment too, which is only an hour and a half away to save on shipping.
And they're also they're not any more expensive than if you're printing in China.
That's right. They can beat China or get close to it, but the biggest thing that you avoid is China can just say we lost your shipment of books. Mm-hmm. There's nothing you can do about it.
Or here's a bunch of viruses on your
or here's a bunch of or here's inferior paper project, or here's inferior whatever. So I get it if you have to print in China, by all means.
I don't think
people got to print in China. You don't have to, is what I'm saying. You can get competing prices from any number of printers. Just my printer, I think, is really good because they're close to shipping and fulfillment. And I will help anybody, any comic artist, anywhere. I'll set up the call. I don't care if you're pro CG, anti CG, pro WarCam, whatever. I will help you set you up with this printer if you reach out to me.
Yeah. What's the printer's contact info? If you just look up API, right?
Yeah. API Print Productions. You want to email Robert Smith, and he will take care of you as best he can.
Every time I'm talking with him, I'm imagining he has this big rat's nest on top of his head and goth makeup, but.
He's a fat little Italian guy who is crazy about printing.
Okay. All right, so this is a clip that has been making some waves, and not because Ethan compares himself to Jesus. He does that all the time. But here, Ethan is like, oh, yeah, that thing where, Roe was asking for, dirt on JDA because they wanted a public beheading. Yeah, that actually happened. So, and Roe was a liar. Here we go.
MM in the chat said Ethan forgave Roe for lying and trusted War Campaign after that, and even after Praetorian. But of course, Malin and Cecil cannot be forgiven. Makes sense.
Let's analyze that. Let's analyze that.
Yeah, let's get in there, Pan.
Wasn't lying.
Get to the bottom of it, Pan.
Pan's got the mind of a steel trap.
Stephen Hawking shows up.
Stephen Hawking has entered the chat.
Yeah.
Roe lied to me, to my face.
What happened with that? Could you just briefly recap, please?
Yeah, so I'll recap it, Pen, if you don't mind.
Please do.
So a message got floated around to run for
there. What?
Just the way that he responds to it is, I'll recap it if you don't mind.
Can I take care of that for you, Pan? And then Pan removes his monocle. Oh yes, do continue.
In which it appeared that Ro Kabir Kumar was telling someone else, we have to decapitate John Delarose. And the person in question said, is this Caesar's order? And, Ro said, yes. And so this was passed around like I was giving orders to Ro Kabir Kumar and all that to hurt John Delarose.
I remember.
And it was a big problem. Now, I looked at this and I said, this can't be real. This is fucking insane. And Ro said to me 3 times, at least. He denied me 3 times.
He denied him
3 times.
He denied ComicsGate Jesus
3 times.
I just wonder whose cock crowed on that one.
Come on. And I've read JDA's tweets, and they did decapitate him.
And here's the thing. This is all about Ethan's damage control. No, of course I don't tell these guys what to do.
Right.
No. What? No.
Cock crowed. He said,
we get the reference.
Fake, constructed, fake. I wouldn't. You can even tell it's fake. I'm a computer expert. That's fake. Until you know, Renfamous embarrassed all of War Campaign by actually showing the tweet and making a video, moving the tweet around or whatever it was. The message around proving that it was real.
Platform.
And Roe had to tearfully confess that he had lied to me. He got on the phone with me. He was crying. He was very.
He was foiled by Renfamous. That's the only person in the world that can say that.
The mastermind Renfamous, who was a complete fucking nobody, but before any of this, they turned Renfamous into a star, and that's not a joke or anything.
Right.
ComicsGate and Ethan Van Sciver's dumb cult of fucking losers turned Renfamous, a nobody SJW tranny, into a full-on star and gave Zier a career in comics, all thanks to Ethan Van Sciver. That's something, by the way, that we said, hey, make sure to never do that. Back in like 2015, when people were trying to make us do that to other people like Kate Leth and that kind of stuff, they would be obsessed about, you know, these other SJWs on our behalf, and then we'd just start deleting their posts or submissions and saying, hey, stop trying to platform these fucking nobodies.
I don't want to hear from these idiots.
Yeah, I don't care about their Twitter where they said that they hate men or something. It's another day, you know. But with ComicsGate and Ethan, you know, I guess they should have listened to SWC, because we warned them years before they ever had any idea of a comics movement, and they made every mistake we told them not to make. So that's too bad. But I like the idea also of Ethan whoring out Roe and saying he tearfully confessed to me over the phone. Basically just saying, yeah, this Roe guy, he's a gay wad. Only I know it, though.
Very upset and said, this is why I lied. I was just messing around, and this is,
that's just
embarrassing.
It was just a joke. He failed the first offense. It's just a joke.
Yeah.
And then he made a video, which still haunts him to this day, of him explaining why he did that. Now, look, at this point, you've got somebody who lies to your face 3 times over something that made you look bad.
Is that not enough?
And, I accepted his apology and we moved on. That's kind of the way things go. You get an apology from someone, a sincere apology, you move forward.
Ethan, he never brought it up again, other than now.
That was the end of it.
That's always a gentleman who brings up another man's apology.
Ethan complaining about him like lying 3 times. Ethan lies 3 times a minute. That's
all the time. Yeah.
It circles around. He lies so much it circles back around to where it's forgivable again.
He runs circles around himself. I remember I got Ethan to fucking completely, I just completely fooled him into contradicting himself on the stream, and got him to lie several times about stuff that there's video of him, like on that kill stream that we went on, where I said, "Hey Ethan, why did you say this?" And it was stuff that there's video clips of Ethan saying, and Ethan's like, "No, they didn't have it." He's completely cornered.
Yeah, here's a companion DM, one of the ones that Prey released. It says, "Were I JDA, I would stay far the fuck away from War Campaign. I can't believe he would come back on after we exposed him." And then Gad answers, "I don't know exactly what will happen, except that Caesar says if he fucks up, we can go after him again. It will be tricky. Gonna ask him some tough questions about gay ops he pulled and all the dealings he had with Ren. All the dealings JDA had with Ren." Apparently.
And this is early 2019.
These are all early. Well, this is early January of 19.
Yeah. It's over a year ago old.
So
Caesar said ceasefire. Yeah. Not much we can do in the end except keep watch. Yeah, man, we'll do what's best for CG and Caesar. No worries.
I thought Ethan didn't give them orders.
Of course not.
Which is
I'm shocked. These are grown adults talking. I want everyone in ComicsGate to look at this and look what you're in. Look what you are.
Every time they say Caesar, it's like these are grown men.
We have children.
Yes,
we have children.
Do.
Yes. Well, I mean, hopefully not for long. Shit.
No, I don't know.
I'm sorry about the quality of the video on this clip. I accidentally saved it as an AVI instead of an MP4.
You piece of shit.
I know. I was trying to get so many clips in before the
is
show
hard work.
today.
It's actually hard work. It's
just tedious having to wait for everything to export through Premiere Pro.
We have a lot of people watching us right now.
Their videos are cheap.
Really?
We got 88.
So this is also from Liam's latest
prophecy.
Wow, that's a good job.
The chat's always more interesting, man. This is the truth.
That's
but we're just going to
saying
do this for an hour so that I've got the show. It's all done. Maybe we'll talk about an interesting little.
Yeah, at this point in the stream, John Malin and Roe were going at each other hard. And then this was Roe demanding to be let on so he could show off the CG Jumpstart book. So
that we got later, maybe not. We'll see. And but yeah, the chat's always more interesting. The chat's where it's at.
You are being very mean to the chat.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Oh no, not the chat.
Don't be mean to
Because
them.
they want to hear from Ro. You're not
The chat wants Ro.
Damn it.
What are we gonna do?
I have nothing at all against Ro Kabir or anything that he's done.
Okay, he's an
I have
idiot.
nothing with the war campaign.
What a
And
moron.
I just want to sort of just have fun, guys. I don't want to get involved in all this shit that's going on. I just want to have fun.
Well, yeah, I can tell you really don't want to get involved in everything.
He's been doing this drama blood sport shit for the last few weeks, but he doesn't want to be involved.
He
all
helped
in the
David
drama.
Live about the Fan Advocacy Network said that he had child porn, which was a proven lie, and his response to that was like, "Oh, the FBI can investigate." I don't care. Like everyone knew it was a lie, and he was like, "Oh, the FBI."
No, it's not. But it's not worth me sacrificing other people. You know, like.
What do you mean?
If I get sucked into things, I have to take a side. If I take a side, that's going to hurt people that work for me. I can't do it.
Why
I don't want to be
Why do you
involved.
have to take a side on this?
Captain of industry.
The whole idea of
Opinionated dickbag. You know
I
that.
thought the whole idea of this was to provide a neutral platform for people.
It is to provide a neutral platform, but I don't want to be dealing with the chaos and drama of everything. I just want to have some fun.
Oh.
Get through the next few days. You know,
You hear the
please.
tremor? You hear the tremor? Oh my god, the tremor at the end was just the best. The tremors, he's about to start bawling and stops himself just in the nick of time
keep it up.
Is beautiful.
This is a very Brian song.
Very Brian, yeah, he was just about to do a line from Brian's song.
Oh gosh, it was pretty bad.
How do we make him do that?
Yeah,
how do we make him cry?
I forgot how that's our fault.
Everything's our fault.
Yeah.
Well, your fault, because you guys have always been right.
I know it's our fault.
It is our fault. I actually blame
forgot.
I blame Preston.
I have okay, Preston. Thanks,
I blame
Preston.
Doug.
Ah, shit.
It's me. It's always me warming into these guys'
Well,
heads.
you're wrong to blame Doug.
Into their mind.
See, clearly, we're war campaign is going to be like, oh no, these guys hate each other.
Micah and Liam have said that I was worming, and all these guys had. So did Cecil. I just want all of ComicsGate to know that I wormed into Cecil's head and got him to go against war campaign and Malin. They said, "Oh, so there's a dirt worm.
Yeah.
Dirt worm behind this. I smell it. I smell it."
Yeah.
I got in their head and got them to break up with
Just
the
like
war campaign.
Just like when you sabotaged Lady Alchemy's campaign.
Yeah, that was me too. Yeah. Lady Alchemy. I Lady Alchemy'd Cecil and Malin.
Comic would have been out by now if it wasn't for you.
I'm that good.
Was that all just because you went on that one podcast? They decided that you were somehow involved.
Yeah, I went on Masterson's podcast.
Yeah.
and he had
the artists for
he had the artists on, and I've talked to both Lady Alchemy and the artist and writer on that, trying to talk them all down from a ledge and get their book out. And
with that.
And it, they were ready to go to like internet war, like take it straight to DEFCON 1 and go, we're going to go on this person's stream and that person's stream.
Yeah.
And I was suggesting that they keep it private and that they try and work it out. And even when Lady Alchemy canned those guys, I said, you go do your best to find an artist. And I told the guys who got canned, I said, just go quiet, guys. You're not going to get a win out. You're not going to do a lawsuit and sue her for what, $30,000 or something. I said, just the best thing to do is go out and create something new, which is what I say to everybody is just create something new that you own 100%.
Which is good.
Yeah, and what bugs me, and this is the same thing with the Nasser and Delay breakup, is I was telling Nasser behind the scenes, like, dude, just go make something new. You're not going to, why hold back the IP from Delay and keep this comic? What are you going to win?
Right.
$5,000? Like, go do another book and raise $5,000 that you own.
Lady Alchemy turns money into vapor. That's a comment in the chat.
That's the best alchemic trick.
That is. That's good.
Nasser did go out and make. He wrote some other books too afterwards too. Didn't he?
Oh yeah, he's pounding out. He's working like crazy.
Novels.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Mike Miller. That was always my thing with Mike Miller too. Is just take off and go and make your stuff. And he's off making stuff. What I think a lot of comics gators what they don't want to hear is that there isn't such a thing as a shortcut. All of us, you don't want to hear that there's no shortcut.
Right.
They want to hear there's this glorious shortcut and there's a $500,000 or $150,000 waiting on the other side. And there is in the case of an EVS, and there is in the case of a Fraga, and blowing me away, there is such a thing for Liam to get that kind of a raise. So it does work for some people. It doesn't mean, if you're not willing to sit on that couch and be extra compliant, which I'm not, and guys like Preston is, and certain guys are not going to work out on that couch. Mike Miller ain't going to work out on that couch for long if you're not willing to sit there and just bob. Yeah, Ethan, that's Cecil and Malin. So they belong on that couch, and they should raise their money on that couch, and Fraga should also. But guys like me, it's not going to work. Preston, you may have wanted to go on his show. It was not going to work. There's certain people where you have to go out.
Yeah, people were saying, "Oh, Preston, you need to go on with Ethan and hash this out." And it's like that would just be another drama whoring, another blood sports.
Moral amoebas like Adam Friended, he'll work out on that couch and make more money than he would off that couch.
Yeah, do the kayfabe show and make everything. A work where it's like, what I actually I fucking bought recently was The Wrestler on DVD, and it's still on its way here, but I want to see that again because one of my favorite things that reminds me of all this dumb ComicsGate shit is just Mickey Rourke is sitting with another wrestler like before the show, and he's like, okay, so I'm going to hit you like this, and then you come back at me with the stunner or whatever, and it's like, oh, okay, and then you grab the chair. It's like, oh, okay, they're working out, how. Yeah. Each hit is going to go, how the whole fight is generally going to go. And that's really all this is. And whenever somebody says, oh, you should go on with Ethan and just try and make up with him. People said that about Nasser just a couple days ago, too. It's like, clearly, they don't know. They're the people who still think that wrestling is real.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all real. It's still real to me, damn it. Those are the people who actually think you can go on and make up with Ethan, a guy whose entire careers is being a heel. That's more his career than even making comics. None of it's real. It doesn't exist there. And I don't know how anyone's that gullible that they can think it exists, but I guess the world needs ditch diggers too. So
world needs simps.
Yeah, some nice big simp. And the world revolves.
Big simping all around the world.
Yes,
you can't. You need peasants.
Yeah,
I will need ditch diggers too.
There really isn't any.
A while from now, I'm gonna do a Preston reacts to Lady Alchemy kink shaming me. That ought to be interesting.
Oh snap! Yeah, she's really gonna show you this actual prostitute is really gonna show you.
I didn't realize she had come after you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everyone wanted to try and make their name off.
I didn't think somebody.
They saw Preston walking in the door. They go, "This is my chance to show."
Everyone in that circle at the same time, including Anna, that Star Wars girl, but also Lady Alchemy, almost as if coordinated, came out and told their why Preston's a bad person story. And Lady Alchemy said that I had shared intimate pictures from her family, and she blocked me as soon as she made the allegation, so I couldn't respond. And I'm like, there's, and so Todd Mulroney was like, you did that. I'm like, really? I'm pretty sure I didn't. Do you have any receipts? Does she have any receipts? No. But she also did a video, kink shaming me on her channel, which I have saved. So I've watched it. I'm
not just kink shaming, but then she claimed that, like, the video you did where you were talking about, like, oh, your history and stuff. She's like, oh, he's trying to play the victim.
Right.
I'm actually the victim. She refused to not be the biggest victim.
Right. And like a lot of people, like, boy, that is so weird. Like, they're always obsessed over victim status because victimhood is status in their world.
Right.
And celebrity status too, of course.
Yeah. I'm a bigger victim. I had it worse than Preston growing up.
Yeah, and so, like, if I'm telling my story, well, they immediately have to go, well, his story is not as bad as my story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to sleep in the dishwasher. Wow, you had a dishwasher.
And Preston's trade just for I can't even be molested as a kid, right? When
dang it! What kind of world is this?
You're incompetent at being molested.
Yeah. I called Ozard out on that because that was some comment he made on, like, a Liam thing where I was blaming as I said in my video, I'm like, look, I can't tell you how much of an impact being molested as a child had on me, because it's my earliest memories, right? So it's not like
that doesn't count, does it?
Yeah. Here's who I was before and here's who I was after. I'm like, I was a child, I was touched, now I'm here. Like, there is no alternate universe where I can look over and go, oh, and that's what would have happened if that hadn't happened. So I don't know, but those
you only know what did happen,
right?
Yeah, and people who act like, oh, that's not as bad as the time that I couldn't get a cab in New York or whatever, or like I'm a MAGA stripper, so, like, I get persecuted for stripping jobs in New York because I supported Trump, allegedly. That's fucking allegedly true. And it's funny that Lady Alchemy is pulling that shit, but then the chick who outed you was just a full-on prostitute too, and it's like, so what's all the attempt at shaming?
That we all have to stop traffic because I'm a victim of having my mailbox knocked over.
Oh yeah,
because I know
Doug
had reached out to me that people weren't angry enough and upset enough about that in comics. They were upset.
Oh yeah,
people weren't upset enough about that, so that is a nominal form of abuse. Whereas Preston, has been a victim of the most horrific abuse, and we're supposed to be callous and light about that. So
weird, yeah.
So who's worse, being light or callous about Preston, or being light and callous about a mailbox falling over?
And Preston never tried to make any of that about ComicsGate. In fact, he never did it until never said, "Hey, everyone, I was abused as a kid,
right?
Or you should buy my comics." But Tug is like, my mailbags fell over.
Yeah,
the SJWs did this. You need to give me money because of this. Yeah, and then he's like, and then holding up his daughter by the throat on camera and shaking her up. Like, they're trying to comfort her, giving her shaking.
Oh, so he's so clipping that.
Yeah,
he is so gonna clip that, man.
Good luck. What does that mean? He's gonna show it on video, on his videos or something? He doesn't do that.
I love that mailbox was more important to him than his wife.
Yeah.
Well,
apparently.
Yeah.
He's possessive over the mailbox. The wife can go do whatever she wants. Or whoever she wants. Let me say.
My mailbox. Mailbox.
And I really think,
mailbox.
And I really think Tom took it personally when I when I created the ComicsGate certified logo, and it's Renfamous is like smashing a mailbox.
Which is, again, it's just a dumb little joke.
Yeah.
Nothing to take personally, but he managed to do it anyways.
Yeah, and so Tug knows I don't know anything about if it happened or not. I've always just been joking about it. It's not about, I'm not making any claim. I don't know. I don't know if Liam punched his mom or not. I don't know. I don't know if Preston was molested or not. I don't know anything, but the idea that certain jokes that Preston's is somehow up for grabs and then making fun of ComicsGate is sacred bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like if you're going to make fun of me and my credibility and my faith, everything is on the line.
It's
so everyone have a little fun.
I have to personally justify that whenever I think it, hear it, see it. Is like, when people are like, oh, how can you make fun of this? How can you trust this person? And all I can say is, I've talked to them. I know them. They come across as, real. They come across as genuine. Yeah. And believe me, I can understand. I could be fooled. I'm not immune to propaganda.
That's right.
I could be fooled by somebody who is charismatic enough. But let me also fucking make sure that I'm not misunderstood here. Preston Poulter is not charismatic enough to lie.
That is true. That is true.
No offense, Preston.
He doesn't come off as a very good liar. No wonder why his poker career failed.
Yeah.
Well, I think he'd be a better poker player than he would be trying to come off with this rift.
Considering that he fucking totally played Norm Macdonald, I mean, maybe he's a little better.
Played him like a fiddle.
Played him like a fiddle, yeah.
Which is cool. That is cool.
Beat him straight.
But again, here's the thing. Here's the difference, and it's a pretty obvious difference that any idiot can see, is that Preston doesn't play victimhood for grift bucks, whereas everyone in ComicsGate
Ethan Van Sciver is my best compliment to him. Ethan Van Sciver, he's a really good liar. He's great at lying. I've also caught him lying. It's the end of the story. I caught him lying more than once. I know he's lying now. So the simple fact is, why doesn't anyone else know it since I've told them?
It's because they don't want to. That's really the secret of
there is no reason for them to question me. I haven't tried to trick them out of a whole shitload of cash.
Yeah, exactly. That's where you can see the failure of your average normie cattle is that they will see a liar who gets caught lying, and
they like to read Captain. They don't read Captain America, but they like to tell other people that Captain America really matters to people. Whenever you hear that, you know that they're stupid.
Yeah.
End of story. Captain America matters to people. No, he doesn't.
Not for about 20 years, he has.
50 or 60, 70 years.
All right, so I did manage to get some clips out of Ethan stream sniping Fan and Preston earlier today. So Preston and Fan were discussing Ethan's time at Marvel.
All
right, you remember this, Preston?
As a failed creator at Marvel.
I don't remember this.
Finally,
Mine was pissed off with Marvel management, so he put sex on every page of their biggest, X-Men publication.
That's what you get.
Audio.
Good thing I heard this clip before.
He's such a liar. He's roboting on the stream.
Yes.
I remember something like that when I was.
Look how proud he is of himself too.
The Mermaid did that with penises on the castle. I think
he is like.
It's called flipping off the big corporation that mistreats.
Flipping off the big corporation.
That'll show him. You
flipping him off. It doesn't matter that I got a contract and they're paying me and shit. It's just all about flipping them off
for them.
Right.
Yeah, he's trying to act like he's a rebellious guy.
The corporation was lying to me. They were actively lying to me. I would ask them questions and they would directly lie to me.
So,
they told my work.
What Ethan is saying there is they had it coming.
They stole his work that he was doing while he was under contract.
Right. Yeah.
He signed the contract and he did the work, and then he's like, "You motherfuckers."
Right.
Stole my work, man.
So they had it coming. So being a baby when I did. Yeah.
Yes.
When it comes to the cover of New X-Men number 130, they made statues of it and didn't put my name on the box. They put another artist.
Oh no!
They had some problems.
I think that was like Doug not mentioning his name.
That's right. That was
after he taught you everything that he knew.
That was another one. I didn't thank him hard enough.
He had the right to flip him the bird, people.
Okay.
Take that, Marvel. Well, clearly Marvel
Ethan admitted he was pissed off with Marvel management.
So he had the right to do it.
Yeah,
Is
Marvel.
that just some of the craziest shit ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that kind of fucking, that's pure BPD right there. Is like, I showed them, but they were ripping me off, but I was working for them. It's just like it's like self-contradicting all at the same time. It's really goofy.
It's the craziest. It's such an entitled attitude too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I had every right to do this to them because they didn't put my name on a statue that they made of a character that was in this comic. And it's like, fucking be the art slave that you are, pig.
Which, by the way, that wasn't the story he was talking about when he was on Eric July's channel. The story there was that he was working for some high-profile writer whose name slips my mind right now.
Wasn't it Grant Morrison or something?
Yeah, Grant Morrison. Okay. And that Marvel showed him the Grant Morrison email, and Grant was like, "Oh, they weren't supposed to show you that." And that basically, it was, the way Ethan told the story was kind of weird, and it came off like
he was making it up as he was going.
Yeah, he was making it up. Like, okay, so I understand, because he always has to do the weak, effeminate voice whenever he's characterizing somebody he doesn't want you to like. So, he was saying that the Marvel executive, we didn't know how to tell you that Grant Morrison basically didn't like him. Okay. And so, therefore, you felt entitled to put sex on every page. But now I guess he's decided, that story doesn't quite sound good.
It doesn't wash, really.
They screwed me by not putting my name. Okay, so the story changed a little bit.
At first, he just did it as a joke. His original version of that story was like, I snuck it in just to be funny.
Right.
That was the entire story. And then decades later, after everyone, he's in a movement based off of cucks who are like, oh, Marvel's terrible, but I'm still buying their the Cape cuck, as it's called. They whine about Marvel all the time and then keep buying their comics, and then whine about Marvel and keep buying their comics. And then he's like, oh, so, all these people, they hate Marvel. So I'm going to make my story be about how I was really screwing Marvel and I really got it over on them. Take that, Marvel. And all his dumb, fucking pay pigs are like, yay, good job. The clapping seals. Just like the Daily Show would have the stacked audience that would just applaud.
The Bill Maher audience.
Yeah, the Bill Maher audience too would just applaud every time he said anything, even if it was completely stupid or just a facial expression. Sometimes from Jon Stewart, he'd make a goofy face and then all of the camera would just start laughing and clapping as hard as they can until their hands hurt, and whoever stopped clapping first got pulled out of the studio and shot.
Actually shot.
Yes.
If you ever hear, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
If you ever hear stories about what they do before all those live tapings, it's some crazy stuff. They've got people out there trying to work the crowd. They've got signs, and I've never gone, but not even when I lived in
the live taping of Mad TV back when there was such a thing.
Was any of that real, at least? Because I imagine that would be. I mean, Saturday Night Live is still technically real.
Yeah.
My buddy Doug Langdale, who is he's a big writer, but he was the co-creator on Project Geeker, but he does Kung Fu Panda for DreamWorks.
Okay.
He and his wife were kind of doing some light acting, just pick up work. And they would work on Jay Leno's show when he would go out on the street and ask people like, who wrote the Constitution and who's the vice president.
Don't tell me those are fake.
They always have a line of actors giving stupid answers in case they can't get the real ones from the street. So I'm only saying, I would think some fakes have gone through.
Yeah. I mean, I always suspected, many years later, I always suspected that some of those headlines that he would do on Mondays for headlines may not have been from real newspapers.
Yeah. I'm sure they would have some funny ones as backup in case real ones don't come along.
And I think Conan O'Brien just did blatantly fake ones to make fun of it, apparently.
Yeah.
Where he basically did headlines, but it was like they would just Photoshop in something obviously that wasn't in the paper. It's just like, there would be a picture of this person or like an advertisement for a hamburger, and it would say this hamburger makes you want to kill your grandma or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's the Conan O'Brien version of headlines.
Yeah, I never found Conan O'Brien to be very funny.
I used to, but I was like 13.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I needed any reason to not go to sleep.
So we have another one from earlier today.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got a couple of these from the stream.
Just abusing his fans and burning even more bridges, he still managed to make 800 grand on Sciver. Now I think that
He's indignant.
900.
900. Yeah.
Indignant. You didn't get it right.
$4,000. Dude, we are almost at $905,000 right now.
People are supposed to know down to the penny.
So even after all this, it isn't life unfair. Even after everything that you're saying, I still made $905,000 on Cyberpunk and counting.
Store winner.
Jeez. Easy, son.
Calm down, Slabo.
Family.
He treats his fans
the best out of me.
like family.
Does that include Roe?
In his family history, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Does that? Yeah. So
I
Roe,
feel close to him now.
Yeah. How about Vicky? I mean, you were a fan of it. You were a customer of his. So is Bean from PA, Roe, Pam.
Yeah.
Ellen and Cecil. I mean, I don't even know who hates who anymore. I tried to explain it to a certain friend of Doug's, and I was like, you know what? I don't even know what's going on anymore at this point.
You had to get out the Venn diagram.
What's funny is that Ethan was actually doing a decent job of faithfully relaying my points. Yes, that's what I was saying. Is despite being a person who sabotaged and burned all your professional bridges, you then went into crowdfunding and made a bunch of money. Because the larger story I was saying is that in response to the quarantine and whatnot, when with Todd McFarlane making more than $3 million, a lot of artists that are working for major companies probably have to sit back and wonder and go, well, gee, should I just quit and go and crowdfund? And that's where I was going in the picture. I'm like, can you imagine one of Ethan's old coworkers sitting there watching this guy come in and just bulldoze and wreck everything and abuse his fans and abuse his employers and burn it, and then go on and crowdfund and make a bunch of money? And yes, Ethan was faithfully relaying those points. So yeah, I'm glad we.
Yeah,
the bottom line is it should encourage anyone who wants to get into crowdfunding that.
Yeah.
If you're sitting there stuck saying there's no way I can make it, I can't do it. You may have to make your own way. Mm-hmm. But he's proof that you can do it.
He's absolutely proof you can do it. Yes.
You just manufacture some drama, start attacking your fans, and turn your fans against each other. It makes the fans who remain that much more loyal to you. So that's the point. It's about the inherent nature of the pay pig is that they want to be controlled. They want to be led. Most people want to be slaves, and they don't want to have any integrity or dignity. They just want to. They want to be somebody's pet. They want to be, just sign over their disposable incomes to somebody who obviously doesn't care anything about them. But we'll say that he does. People just want to be. They want to be gullible sometimes. It's just easier, and that's just a part of the nature of the species. Sometimes is that you're going to have people who are just on that lower rung. And if there's any low rung, it's definitely in comics. It's like the bottom rung of art and entertainment and writing, especially writing. I mean, you can see how even Ethan and the other ComicsGate people, the former ComicsGate people, all treated writers or saw writing as just an afterthought at some point.
And art.
Yeah.
And printing.
Yeah, especially
and fulfillment. Yeah, and schedule.
Yeah.
Oh God! On his stream today, he said he's not sure how he's going to fulfill his next book, and that he may just be hiring his family to send it out. And I'm like, dude, you're just trying to ignore Dynamite, pretend they don't exist, and they're not going to be doing all your fulfillment because everybody in WC is making a big deal out of Dynamite. You're all welcome.
They're memeing
because he wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't for our live stream.
Dynamite
pointed it out.
By the way, stepped down from DC. He was working at DC, and now he's doing covers for Dynamite. It's really not. It's not really the killer's row, if you will.
They're running his campaigns.
Yeah, as Dave put it, rule of acquisition 110: exploitation begins at home.
You know, I mean, they have access to his Indiegogo account. They're basically running his campaigns for him.
Yeah, and I heard, and this is one where, if you're gonna come and say, I heard on Ethan say on such and so, it would be better if you brought a timestamp. But so they did not bring a timestamp. So right now it's on the level of I heard somebody say that,
which is about all we need these days.
Exactly.
You're well covered. That's
but that the Dynamite folks were looking at Anna as, oh great, we need to run with her on a Vampirella cover because she's an attractive lady and she's going to bring in all the simps. So that that was definitely
if you will. That is.
No, they were right. Yeah, they were right. So.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I think even all the simps is overreaching. You're talking about just the Cape Cook simps.
But at the same time, like I wish they would, because I've had people like Fragus ready to be fighting back. We go, no, it's because Anna's such a talented artist. I'm like, dude, can we deal in reality for a minute?
Even Ethan's not a very talented artist, and people pretend that he is. He just
let's take this to 4chan. They're talented artists. Let's let the other people decide that. Believe me, this is a fight they're going to lose.
I just want everyone to imagine. Let's do a little mental experiment. Imagine that Nasser did that exact same cover.
Right.
Oh yeah.
What would it do? Nasser, what would it do? I want predictions. I want to hear CG tell me.
Writer, you're pretty good. I already know what happened. Ethan would say, "Oh, that's really good."
Yeah, really good.
Jim, by the way, I
fully support this.
Dynamite. Yeah, because Jim's like, Dynamite will sell custom covers to anyone. Okay. I inquired. I haven't heard back yet.
Why would you want to work with Dynamite? They're kind of shit.
Oh, I'm more just I'm not.
I wouldn't mind doing a Kiss Zombies cover. That'd be fun. I like that idea. I go, hey man, that'd be an easy kill. Too bad I have too much work to do.
Exactly.
I wonder though if they have a different deal than the standard cover deal, where instead of having to buy a certain number of copies and putting your cover on it, that Dynamite is going ahead and paying them for the cover as like a commission.
No, I think they're getting that. I think it's a normal license fee.
You think so?
I think it's public
and
open because Billy Tucci's done it, Ethan's done it, Anna's done it. Like anyone.
But Dynamite's running some of the campaigns instead of.
You say anyone. I asked. I don't know. I don't know if it's anyone.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it may be.
Well, if somebody told them not to hire you or take you
right.
There's always that.
There's this weird thing that happens where I'm like, oh, I'm working with somebody, and then other people will be like, hey, look who we just talked to. I'm like, okay, never mind.
Yeah. So, and then we've got one more from today.
Here we go.
And I think we're heading towards the 2-hour mark. And
as Jim would say, anyone except Preston.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and actually share the screen before I hit play.
Okay, here we go.
And then I do have the other.
And then we have to premiere Thomas's new videos.
Okay.
So.
Campaign was right many times.
Wait, was War Campaign right?
War Campaign is right.
Guarded. ComicsGate
guarded him.
I felt like
they were on that wall.
Who had bad ideas. And who were constantly disrupted and PR disasters. And they also went after people like you, Preston, fan advocacy. They went after Renfamous.
They went after me.
They went after me.
They went after
Miller, JDA.
What you're saying is, Ethan, is they went after the people you didn't like.
Tim Lim, Mark Pellegrini.
They've left us alone. I don't know. Maybe they're okay.
So if we take what Ethan has said and we put it all together, it's they lie, and they dox, but they went after people that I didn't like, so they were good.
Yep, they went after Hikaru.
Yeah,
Hikaru. They went after Adam Friended.
Yeah.
They've always been sour on poor Adam.
After I think John Malin, Cecil, and Anna,
they went off the rails.
That whole situation, and now it's become like a domino effect. I don't want them around me anymore. War Campaign is still ComicsGate. You know, they're going to be ComicsGate over there.
Hey, Preston.
Oh, that's a relief. Whew.
Yeah,
Preston, you need to
go
kick them
part
out
of
of
your
ComicsGate.
trademark.
Yeah.
You gotta get rid of those War Campaign guys, though.
Here, and there's no further conversation to be had. If you can't get along,
oh shit, conversation over.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't want to support you. As simple as that. You know, I'm not the boss of ComicsGate. I'm just Ethan Van Sciver, all caps comics, comic artist, pro secrets, human sunbeam. If you can't get along with my friends, if you can't get along with my customers, I don't have
freaked out by the fake humility.
Get along with them and stop bothering them. And you say no.
He's contradicting himself every other sentence.
Yeah.
I'm not the commander of ComicsGate. Now listen to me when I tell you something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you can't get along with my friends, well, you know.
Well, then you're gone. But I'm not in charge of this shit.
Right.
I got no say whatsoever. But you know, you're gone. You're out of here. Don't let that door hit you in the ass on the way out.
Again, though, the thing is that isn't exactly Ethan's fault because people did give him that willingly.
Yeah.
And that's the nature of the comic book fan. A comic book fan is inherently a weak person who needs like not just a leader, but to
be led around by the nose.
Yeah,
well, a comic artist who needs him probably isn't that good. Because if I said the same thing, hey, listen, you guys can get in there. I'm just saying, I Doug Tenaple won't promote you.
Right.
And like as if they're supposed to shake in their boots.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they shake in their boots on him.
Right.
That is the exact same talent set. You're not promoted by him, you fail, and then you are promoted by him, and you can raise.
Say that too. They openly say, you know, you have to go on Ethan's show if you even
have to go on. I agree. If you're not so good, or you're in trouble or whatever, you have to go on his show to raise the money. But I'm going like, what about making a good story and a good book that anyone could walk up at a Comic-Con and look at and go, I want this and I'll buy it. No, that won't work. That's the old ways. This is a new way.
A fun comic with some adventure, some cool stuff in it, like crazy adventures and happy fun things and stuff. No, you got to go on Ethan's channel.
Got to go. Kirby would never make it. Bernie Wrightson never make it. Mike Mignola never make it. Bill Watterson never make it. Jeff Smith, you'll never make. Oh wait, they're talented, so they didn't need CG.
But Ethan would be on their side. Ethan would be like, hey, I'm supporting these guys anyway.
After they were famous.
Yeah. I remember hearing something along those lines of Doug's never going to make it without CG.
Doug's not going to make it.
And Doug's kicking ass.
I kicked ass. I'm out selling my first Bigfoot Bill book. I'm hoping to continue my long 20-year career. But what about Cecil? Would he have made it? Would Don DeLay? Would he raise 150 grand on Cash Grab without Ethan?
Yeah, Cash Grab is going to be so good, and you know it because
I mean, let's face it. It's got so many big names attached to it, like Nurkish.
I think if it had been Nurkish at the beginning when it first, when everything was first going down,
I would love to have a comic by Nurkish.
I think it may have done 50, 75. I wouldn't make the kind of numbers now because Cecil's got, the dregs of War Campaign and their pay pigs behind him.
I don't care how much it makes, though.
Yeah, they milked a lot.
Yeah. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Or how many copies. Yeah.
Well, to shallow people, it's all about the, how many subscribers you have, how much money you make. None of it's about how good the comic is, though.
Yeah. I was rewatching the video that you posted of our review of Tails Gets Trolled. Tails Gets Trolled.
Oh, yeah.
More popularity than Cyberfrog, and so has fucking Sonichu. Sonichu is more popular than all of us combined.
Yeah. Right. And that Tails Gets Trolled is an example of a comic that I just walked up on and read. Same with the applicant zine that I talked to you about, you guys, before the show.
Up and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, this is funny. Well, look.
I didn't have to know the guy. I didn't have to watch his channel to think this thing was a scream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody had to come convince you about how you're going to save comics by reading it, or please donate money because Marvel SJWs and Renfamous and look out for my mailbox and they're coming after my daughter. Just all this dumb shit. It's just like, oh, check out this good comic.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is the bigger indictment is this is about social influencing. So social influencing is fine. That's all fair market. It's totally fair what these guys do, but I think after a while it becomes all about the social influence and less about the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll give the perfunctory mention of the things but it's always this weird, creepy, very obviously phony, like used car salesman pitch. Like, check it out, we're doing the best. This is the best thing ever. And it's like, what's
art?
We're saving comics.
Yeah.
And we love so and so. We love Dan Fraga. Buy his book.
Yeah, a ComicsGate is God, and I am his son, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, people should buy Fraga's book if they like it. Get in there.
Yeah,
that's kind of my standard is get in there.
Dan Fraga is a friend of CG, so we should buy his book. Is more of the implication, which is just bad.
And all the ComicsGaters who refunded my book, including Earthworm Jim.
So clearly they didn't care about how good the book was.
That's right. They did not care. They are not the comic fans and the readers. I'm looking for people who really want a great deal.
That they didn't buy the book in the first place because they wanted to read it. They bought it just so they can refund it afterwards.
I thought it was really interesting where Praetorian was talking about back in his WC days that one of the things they would do is when a comic book creator was, putting out their campaign for the first time, that the war campaign would go and back it at all the top tiers.
Yeah.
And then, and then would expect them to basically be their human shield. Like whenever people were like, you guys watch yes, well, no, we just back like John who did the Conflict Clause Out, that book that never materialized.
Another one? Whoa.
Yeah, another one, right? And
that's the Richard Dean. Is that Richard Dean Anderson's book?
I
think so. Yeah.
Richard Dean Anderson's book.
I always remember his name because of the actor.
Yeah.
And I liked hockey too.
And I'm like, okay. I mean, certainly I see how they would then, kind of corrupt these, would-be comic creators over to, well, you better believe whatever war campaign's doing is okay because they just backed you at the top levels. But I do have to wonder, like, was it worth the investment, of like throwing $2,500 at, Richard Dean Anderson's book that is never really going to come out to get him to say, yes, war campaign's a bunch of great guys? I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of things they did. I'm like, in hindsight, was that really a good move?
It sold them more books, more of their own comic.
Oh, comics.
Yep. And that thing's still in demand with no refunds.
Well, I mean, why would you want a refund? Of course.
Right. I know.
You don't want your address getting out there. Wink, wink. Ethan Van Sciver doesn't want the SJWs to dox you, after all.
Yeah. The war campaign has all these stories about WC spending their rent money on CG books behind their wife's back. So.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
I definitely believe it.
Shouldn't you just buy a comic? Stop trying to inflate a campaign and just be like, here's a comic I like out there. And of course, if you back at the highest tier, it's like, now we own you.
Right.
We backed you at the highest tier. You belong to us.
You belong to us, exactly.
And if you don't, if you try to not belong to us, then comes the refund brigade, and then you get attacked, and then your accounts. Yeah. Let's not forget, they did a lot of false flagging of people's accounts too.
Sure, yeah.
I never had a problem with the money I made off of ComicsGate because I knew I was going to deliver them a great book. Mm-hmm. That was not the problem. The problem was that, and you have to say, do, and think this.
Right.
That's the line too far, guys. I make comics. I like,
and it's repugnant what they say.
I love selling comics and making books. That part is the part I didn't have a problem with. It was the rest of it that has nothing to do with comics, which they seem to be obsessed with. About 90% of their lives are revolved around.
Seem to be working on comics.
Yeah. Based on attacking each other too, because that's what War Campaign was. It was them attacking other people in ComicsGate, and it always was that. And
no one has quoted a single ComicsGate book or shown a single panel where they just go, Look at this sequence of storytelling here. Boom, boom. I did hear some stuff on Iron Sights, on Richard Meyer's works. I think more people tend to read them and whatever. I've heard people say they're terrible. I've also heard people say that they really liked Iron Sights. So I'm not going to judge people's taste, but I'm saying that is a legit people talking about the actual work of the comic. What did you get when you read this book? I haven't seen other people do deep dives on story, on art, on printing when they get the books. It doesn't seem like or it's just kind of like just silence.
Well, there was some of that for Iron Sights. The thing is, a lot of the positives about Iron Sights were to sort of apology and making excuses, or is like, hey, it's really triggering the libs. This part's really cool because the SJWs are going to be mad at that. But there wasn't anything real behind the compliments.
No one reads Bigfoot Bill or Earthworm Jim and says he really burned our enemies on this one.
Yeah.
They read it and go, hey, story, character. Hey, look, it's a book.
My kid really likes it.
My kid,
something like that.
And that's the true test for all of us, which
the escape velocity.
My goal is to get more people to dig that book, and I'm ashamed that not enough people liked it. I want more people to like it.
I'm with it. And I for me, the greatest compliment is, what has happened in the past week, which is where with Ethan's falling out, I was actually, I've been in some DM conversations with some people who have the war campaign tag.
Yeah.
And, one of them was like, so how's your trademark coming along? I'm like, pretty good. I just sent White Lily 5 off to the printer. It's got the logo. You want to see it? They're like, sure. So I show them the book, and they read the PDF. They come back, that's pretty good. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not going to tell anybody you said that because I know how upset they will be. But
because you got to represent to your tribe,
right?
All that matters is like, oh, I read a comic, I liked it, I liked the story. Hey, this art's cool, or something like that. That's really all that matters to people who actually like the medium of comics, but people who like the status of comics, to them, all it's about is, oh, we did this to. Yeah, we're part of the group. It's a desire to need to belong, and which I always saw as kind of a gay weakness.
Yeah.
Thomas I'm sorry. Was that your video link in the private chat?
I linked to the video in the private chat, so we can. I guess
and a new brilliant video.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You want to finish what you were going to say, Preston?
Oh, and a lot of people have said, don't you understand? You could have gotten on Ethan's show if you just would have been. Yeah, no, I figured that out.
I could get on Ethan's show on accident.
So no, I figured that out. But
wait, you did just get on Ethan's show today.
Yeah, exactly. But what I get attention now.
You got your wish. How's that feel?
Yeah, exactly. Now people are sending me messages. Ethan wants you on his show. I'm like, I don't know. But so it wasn't really a matter of getting on the show, but it's like Pretorian also said, which is where you send Ethan DMs or chat to him or something about comics or something, and he just blows you off. But if you savagely attack somebody he doesn't like, then he reaches out to you and says, that was good. And
so clearly it's about the drama. He really doesn't give a shit about comics. Yeah. Van Sciver does not care about comics. Plus, he's a doxing ring. That's not good either.
Exactly. So, I didn't want all that. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to step back. And it's as though people can't even conceive that someone might have integrity and go, I don't think I really want to involve myself in that. Instead, I think I might want to maybe expose it a bit. And people do. Don't you understand? Like, no, I understand exactly what path I could have chosen. I simply did not choose that path. So
you could have played the victim with Ethan and
absolutely could have.
War campaign.
Yeah. So anyway.
So last video of the night.
Last video of the night. This is Thomas's new vid. Are you going to be releasing this?
It's just some clips I chopped together, and I'm going to make it public as soon as
it's something we do for fun.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Anything in drink tonight, ma'am?
Guys, I have pictures of me and Vic playing golf, and I can't fucking post them. Vic hasn't made them jealous. Let's be real. I have. Hero has. Tug has. Yellow Flash has. Vic hasn't done it. I want Vic to fucking support us. All I want on Earth is for Vic to come on my show.
You're a little faggot.
Harlots to die.
Stop crying, you sniveling ass. Stop. You're not.
You know he listens to over me? He listens to fucking cunts who hate him. You can't keep getting away with it. He's not too pure for this world. He's not. He's really fucking not.
This guy is pissing. He's pissing all over us. He's pissing on you. What does it taste like? What does it taste like? Because you know what? It tastes like piss. To me.
That's what I want. Why won't he say it? Why won't he fucking say it?
Nice little
outstanding legal counsel, Nick Gaylord, ladies and gentlemen.
Nicky Titty Baby. I love the Nicky Titty Baby song in the background.
Stolen from some other video.
That was really funny.
All right. Well, thanks. We had a good stream, I think.
I think so
It
too.
was a good show.
It was a good show.
It was fun. We may have to do this on a regular, maybe not every week, but every couple of weeks would be good.
Something like
Yeah.
And thanks for coming on, Doug. It was always
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Look at I got most way through my little zine here.
Fantastic.
I'm doing I'm penciling out some panels.
I love Crank. Crank.
The Kraken.
Oh yeah, Crank magazine. That was the old zine from the
Jeff
90s.
Coyne, I think.
Yeah, Jeff Coyne, I remember that one. You know what? I also remember is "Answer Me" by Jim Goad.
Jim Goad had the best ever zine.
Every backer of Bigfoot Build 2 gets a free zine. Free zine.
You're just throwing in tons and tons more content. You're not even making promises like, "Oh, a box." You know, this box has air.
Well, I'm going to give him a killer two-color box.
Whoa!
I just thinking of all the fun stuff I can throw in there. I want to spend as much money as I can stand.
You might think you would pay $1,000 for this cardboard box. But it's only $200.
Yeah, I pay the thousands of dollars for my box out of my own pocket.
Cardboard box. Obviously, you'd want to pay more than 50 cents for a cardboard box.
I love my boxes. The box.
All right, so I dropped the link for Doug's Bigfoot Build 2 in the chat, as well as Preston's White Lily issue number 5, which drops
Congratulations.
on Friday.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Final issue.
And Preston, I'll have you on my show too to talk about that.
I appreciate that.
I'm glad you didn't. You weren't streaming Doug's face while we played that last video. By the way, nobody had to see him. Nobody had to see his reaction to that one.
Nick is my friend.
Yeah,
I know.
Who's Nick? Wait. Who's Nick?
You mean
Nick Ricada?
Titty Baby.
I mean, hey, they're just memes. They're just memes.
And yes, Hikaru, I did finish shipping. I have shipped everything out of that campaign, unless
that's wrong.
Unless it was a, I don't know, the way my dog gets excited sometimes. There's no reason to get excited.
We're having too much fun.
Yeah, we're having too much fun.
Yeah, stop stimming. You're stimming so much I can bottle it and heal wounds.
By the way, we're also, I guess, looking for funding for our next, for the Cape Cuck Follies comic.
Why? Where do they pay you? Where do they pay you?
Patreon, I think.
Definitely.
PayPal.
Fund me so that you can fund my comics. Everyone else has funding for their comics. My brother, Doug, fucking Preston, Vicky. I don't know what comics Vicky's making.
The rest of us are all criminals. We're all criminals except you guys.
I'm not making
smooth criminals.
I have no plans on doing a comic.
I have plans on doing a comic, but no one's funding my comic. But my comics are genius, so fund my comics
on Patreon or what?
Yeah, patreon.com.
There we go.
swcmod1@gmail.com for PayPal. If anyone wants. Here's the thing: is that you know, the computer paid off. So we're going to basically be focusing on funding. We have the artist. So all we need is some money. I'm not sure what the rate is going to be, but whatever money we get, it'll just go towards paying that rate. And
the higher the money we get, the more we can get a better artist.
That's basically how.
I mean, just imagine if we could get $500,000. I'll just pay Doug to draw our comic or something.
I wouldn't draw it for $500,000, but you might afford Ethan.
Yeah.
His art's not that good. His art sucks.
No, I'm not paying for bargain basement bullshit. I'm going to pay somebody good.
I want to pay a good artist instead. But yeah, that's what we're looking for to get paid. Is I mean, literally 2 is kind of covered, sort of. But what we're really focusing on is the
literally 2 is funded. But you know what? People can afford. I mean, why aren't more people buying literally 1? Go buy literally 1.
I already bought literally 1.
That's literally
months and months ago.
Literally
bought literally 1.
Where would they buy it? Would it be on Patreon again or
Comixology?
It's $1, right, or $1.99?
It's $1, just
$1 for a comic book.
Yeah,
$1.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking of charging less, but I don't think you can actually charge less than $1 on Comixology.
We could make it free, but at this point, we want to fund further comics.
Yeah,
that's the point. It's almost
so
like
the audience can find out what you're made of. If you're all talk, or we'll find out if you're all talk, or if you can actually write a comic.
Well, that's the thing. Not only is literally out, another comic that me and brother have written is coming out pretty soon too. We can't talk about
already.
that.
Yeah, it's already on the way. It's as much as I like to be like, I'm trying to make comics. I can't even get it funded. We did technically get a comic that's on the way already. It's already been created, produced, all of that. It's on the way.
And you guys have shadow written on Tim Lim's stuff though.
No, we haven't done that. But the comic that we're
shadow writing for Tim Lim. That's actually Mark Pellegrini.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we.
That's not called shadow writing. That's called writing.
It's writing. Yeah. He's getting the credit for that.
Yeah, exactly. We actually created Common America. But anyway.
Well, on that note, before this gets even more insane,
the comics that we read the scripts of last time was the Cape Cod Falls. That's what we're looking
for.
Everybody have a great night. Thanks everybody for joining us here, and we'll see you later.
See you next.
The right stuff.